Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. Sealy P. I am here on The Memory, which is quite ironic if you watch any of my videos knowing what my memory is like. This is a new mod map out by Princess Black. It is 307.33 megabytes download. There are 12 required mods. It lists 11, automatically downloads, and then as soon as I went to upload or load into the map, it asked me if I wanted to download a required mod, which it did then a 12th. I've listed them all in the description anyway, but 11 download automatically, and then one it will prompt you to do it anyway. Custom crops, no, not technically, but we have got some additional fruits, which we'll get onto later on. The map may get an update. Again, that will become obvious as we go around. Contracts are available. I have already taken the liberty of putting some money in because that will be important for what we're doing. And vehicles and machines, I don't think there was anything added in. Mods and DLC. Oh, that was what I need to say. I'm glad I went to that. And there are two versions of this map. There's the standard version, and then there's the version for premium expansion. I like the fact those two have been put in because the premium expansion one has a load of the premium expansion buildings, facilities, productions, and allows for those premium expansion crop types. But if you don't own the premium expansion, it shouldn't preclude you from playing it. So there's a base game, I suppose it's the base game version. So I'm going on the premium expansion one because that will show you, pretty much everything the map has to offer. Just allow for the fact that if you go on the normal one, there won't be the premium expansion productions or those crop types on there. So I guess technically there are additional. There are 100 collectibles. You do start with 4 productions, you do start with some raised beds, but they are on the start farm, which obviously on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch you won't have. We'll talk about that later on. There's a couple of problems that you'll see as we go around, and I possibly, as you can see, we've got a lot of fields. Field prices actually aren't too bad, but this is my issue. The verges, the periphery of the map. 675 million. 540,000. I mean, that is a ludicrous amount of money to buy the verges, the periphery of the map. Not being able to buy that, or just say you can buy that, but it's a crazy amount of money, could be a reason why a couple of things aren't working as I think they maybe should do. It will make more sense. This is another one of those maps where there's a lot of plots you need to buy as we go around. On New Farmer, we do start with this farm here. And then the farms aren't cheap. 589,500 for the base game farm. Field 28, Field 25, Field 31. We'll see a lot of these plots here. We've got 175, we've got 173, 172, 171. We've got 194, 193, 170. And up the top here we've got 177. I think that's all of them. 175 as well. 175 is like a big old biogas plant. Well, I'll show you this. I'll do that and that. I'll buy up the plots that we need to buy up. Let's get 173. Do 172. 171. And then you'll see that's the main vehicle store. 194. Now technically you don't need to buy 193, 194. They've got productions on them. But I bought them because of an issue. 170. What else was it? And then 177. You can pause at any point when I'm doing those if you want to see what I don't always read the values of those properties out. I think that's all the farms we need to purchase. 174. Do we need to do 187? Don't think so. So now if I do that and that, you notice all of these are now added in. These, all of that. These up here, it adds in quite a lot, as you can see. So we've got a lot to get round and a lot to look at. I think that plot, I mean, you can buy it if you want to. I don't think there's any pastures. I had a look around, I couldn't see any pastures in addition. Anyway, when you start the game, you will start up on this. It's like this waterfall and this lovely sort of lookout point. It's very cool construction. You start up there. It's very loud because of the waterfall. So I thought, you know what, I'll get down off of there because that's a loud way to start. And let's head down. Castle up on the hill, that's on the part of the map that's the verges, periphery. We have water point here. There are a few water points around the map with these nice pumping allocations. And as you can see, spoiler alert, that's 1 out of 100. That's all right. There are some areas where there are loads. It's almost like littered, and you can, it's glaringly obvious where they are. So I'm not going to say spoiler alert every time we go around. We do start with equipment damage. I like that with equipment and machinery. It gives that feeling of immersion that the farm's sort of already been in operation when you kind of arrive. Sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger just here and pick up at the main farm. We'll talk about slot count now. On the premium expansion version, new farmer 1,686. And then on farm management start from scratch 1,362. Difference being you don't start with any of the vehicles and machinery. All the buildings are still here at the start farm. All the buildings are still at the other farms. I started to remove buildings here and some of the decorative objects wouldn't remove. So again, my advice would be careful about it. I didn't try to go through the motions I often do of trying to get the slot count as low as I could, because it was leaving bits and bobs behind. So just if you are going to remove buildings, save the game first, remove what you want to try and remove, and hopefully it works as it does. If it doesn't, you can always go back to your previous save game. So chicken pen just over here for 500 chickens. Did I mention, build mode's interesting because a lot of these are kind of like almost like bespoke chicken pens, well, animal pens, buildings. Some of the things are kind of fixed in place. There's a silo, Farmer 500 silo, and there's one of those on pretty much all of the farms. If we go into build mode, the only thing over and above the 12 required mods is under silos, and it's all of the, where are we? There we go, the memory. These ones here. I think that was it. But the Farmer 500 silo that's on each of the farms is a modded one, is converted, but it's not in here. So if you remove them, you won't be able to replace them. I'm pretty sure I went through everything else. I'm just trying to think. I better double check now. I think everything else was either premium expansion or it was one of the required mods. Check factories. Yeah. So it was only under silos. There was nothing under painting textures in addition to trees, plants, nothing like that. So as we come alongside here, we've got our stall for beef. Open the gate. Dialogue box, 45 cows in here. Come across the way. Trailer and storage space. I think these are premium expansion buildings, aren't they? Tanker in there. And you'll see as well, the machinery and equipment's dirty, and that one like 60%. What I also like is each thing, each thing, there you go, is at a different percentage. Sometimes you go on up and every single thing is exactly the same, but not everything is quite the same. Couple of tractors there. So that Farmer 500 silo, normally that would be 500,000 litre standard crop type. This isn't. This is a 5 million litre multi-fruit silo. And these are, like I say, scattered around the farm. We open this up here. I think the trigger might be the other side. Slurry tanker, silage clamps, just here. There you go, on the back here. Cows, 200. Bale and pallet storage. Actually, this might have just been bale storage. Yeah, bale storage for 350 bales, just there. I think the other thing as well to point out, because we are right on the edge of the map here, when I tried to remove buildings, it only lets you go kind of as far as sort of here. Unless you do that thing where you're going to, I'll show you, look, if you go into here, you can't go any further. I'm pushing forward, I can't go any further forward than that. So to remove these, if you want to, you can do that. That one, I'm just thinking, can we get to the other one? It depends. There we go, we can just about hide. So if you want to demolish stuff, it just takes a bit of fiddling around, finagling. So, grasswork equipment in here, forage wagon trailer in there. As we come around the side of the building here, we've got workshop trigger just in here, fuel point just there, bale storage for 350 here as well, and then we come around and we come to the raised beds, which are the full productions you start with, because you start with this farm on New Farmer. So each of the raised beds, there you go. A small greenhouse garden type thing, only requiring water as well. But they can be removed if you want to remove them. That is your choice. I'm going to stop saying that. Got in trouble for that the other day. Why do I keep saying that? I don't know. It's just you get into that habit, you know. If I don't say it, people say, well, you know, it's that thing, you know, I don't know. The world we live in, my brother said there was a really weird thing. What did he say? Was it online somewhere? there was a sign up somewhere, and someone had got really angry about it. It was basically it was just advertising guitar lessons, and somebody had got really cross and said, "I don't want guitar lessons." But again, it's that thing of, well, then the sign wasn't for you, was it? It was for someone else. Quite clearly, if you don't want guitar lessons, that's fine. But you don't have to be cross that there's an advert up for it. I think it had been put on a wall or something somewhere, and someone had got on. You know. Anyway, it's that thing, isn't it? You know. I have to say the same thing when you do mod reviews. You know, if there's bonkers crazy stuff, people get cross and say, "Oh, that's ridiculous. I don't want to use silly stuff like that." Again, then that mod's not for you. That's absolutely fine. So that's generally why I say these things out loud. So we're coming up into the vineyard region. I'm going to come back down around. It's going to be a peculiar route. This is probably going to be quite a long map tour as well. There's a lot. It's pretty packed in. We've got the Weingarten up here. So this was one of the plots we purchased up on the hill. So all the vineyards around us can be purchased. We have got workshop trigger. The workshop's just inside there. So this has been converted slightly because obviously the base game version of this is the wardrobe trigger. So workshop trigger, sleep and wardrobe trigger just there, barn and building space just in here. We have got a fuel point just here. Again, a refillable. I think it's 10,000 litres, these ones, aren't they? Yeah, 10,000. Come around the back here. Plenty of open space, 4 activities, and a Farmer 500, that 5 million litre multi-fruit silo just here. We come down the hill. We come to our wine production facility. I say wine production. Weingarten juice. Take that however you will. And this is where we encounter our first potential issue. Well, in a second it will be. This first bit's okay. So, spin it around. Again, I like the fact a lot of this stuff has been converted. You can see the shape and stuff of the base game buildings, but all the signs and stuff are different. Like the wood panelling on that as well. It's a very cool feature and texture. I think this is their first map, Princess Black. We had a mod the other day came out, Planter and Vegetable Planter, which actually isn't included in here, which works well on this if you're doing premium expansion. Yeah, and this map, this is the only 2 things from Princess Black. But anyway, 120,000 will get you. Hang on. Oh, that's on one of the other properties. I was going to say, hang on a minute, what's all that about? That's all the extra productions on the other things we come to. So anyway, raisins, apple juice, cherry juice and grape juice. That's rather fancy. So when I said there's not technically additional crop types, but there are fruits, there are these, and this is where we will encounter our first problem. You watch it work now. Just to spite me. If I pull up and stop on the grass just here. So our orchards are through here. However, there's no trigger for opening the gate. So I thought, oh, maybe you need to own the land then, quite clearly. But the problem is you can't get to the land to buy it, not in a vehicle anyway. So what I'll do, let's go through the trees. All of these orchards, there are 3 different orchards. We've got apple orchard, pear orchard and cherry orchard. Water points are all along the sides here. So when you've purchased it, you bring, I think it's water and manure here. There you go. They're not cheap. 444,770 for this one, for the apple orchard. If I come back to the map, hopefully this would have done it. We are up here. There you go. We now own the land. Awesome. But guess what? That gate doesn't open. And you can't remove the fencing around it. So I think it might get an update. And there are 2 or 3 other locations around the map where gates won't open. I found a couple of workarounds for a couple of them. But I'm wondering if the gate triggers are linked to the verges. That's what I was saying earlier. That you've got to buy that for 165 million for the gate triggers to work. Which to me sounds preposterous. But anyway, pear plantation just there. And over here we've got the cherry one. And again, I'll show you once we've got them. We own the land. And you can crack on, bring in your water and manure. So I click on that one. And then our cherry plantation. So to take up to the Weingarten juice factory. There you go. So that's how you get those plots of land. And interestingly, when you buy that factory, which we did, you don't get the land with it, and you can't buy the land separately. Ah, curious. I'm going to head back to the pickup, and we shall continue on around. Yeah, so I'm making the assumption, and I have double checked, but what I haven't done, I mean, I've got government subsidy signs I could put in. I'd have to put a lot of them in and speed up time a fair old bit to get it. But again, it's that thing. I know it sounds, you know, a bit kind of, oh, you're just being petulant. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to build up. Can you imagine playing the game and trying to reach, if you're playing the game normally, let's just say if you're playing whatever normal is, you know, a standard gameplay, to get to 165 million to buy the verges so you can get a gate to open, that doesn't make sense to me. But maybe I am being petulant. I didn't do it off camera to check, but I don't think that should be a thing. I think the gate should be adjusted, tweaked. You going or not? There you go. You know you want to. Right, let's head down into the town. Strange how the cars keep doing that. They turn out of a junction or get to a junction and just stop dead. It's a bit peculiar. Right, I've got to keep an eye out because we need to turn in just here. Right. There we go. I was just trying to think which ones didn't open, which ones did. Bakery. And this is nice because we've got some extras in here. Chocolate cake, cheesecake, apple pie. Very nice indeed if you're running the other things. Again, that's fine if you can get your apples out. I didn't even think of that. I thought about getting in there, but yeah, of course, if you're running them, how do you get them out? So that could potentially hamper the whole shebang. I'm going to cut across here because we've got a few in one place. Open our gate here. We come to the old grain mill, which is fairly standard as far as it goes. I think the recipes are fairly standard as well, but putting in is done here at the windmill. That has now stopped, obviously, because I've purchased it. Until something goes in there, then it will start running again. Come across here. We've got the tailors, which I think is fairly standard, if I recall. Yep. Around the back from here, we've got the spinnery. Again, all of these custom adjusted, you know, the signs and stuff. I like that. Spinnery, again, I think was fairly standard, if I recall. Yep. Then this was this the plot? No, it might be the next plot over. There was one I was saying, you know, do I need to buy that? I don't think you need to for the production, but let's go back to our pickup. That will be done as we go round. Yep. It's very nicely made. You know, I say, apart from the gate thing, it's a lovely map. There's some really nice features on it, and it's another one of those ones that is packed. This is only number 2 of the 4 maps that dropped the other day. There's stuff coming out all over the place, and it's I was lucky there was no mods yesterday, but there were an absolute ton of updates, which I didn't get to. This is the dairy. I mean, I don't normally do just a mod review for updates. I just do mods, but there's your dairy. Again, fairly standard. In and out. Did this gate work? It did. There we go. Out to the back here. Now, some of these I do need to purchase. I think there was these 2 just here. Let's turn it around there. So let's go into here first. This one does need to be purchased. So our cereal factory. Is it around the back? Of course, I've gone the wrong way around the building. There we go. Cereal factory needs to be purchased because we've got cereal. So different cereal recipes. One with raisins, one without raisins but with chocolate, and one without, so it's just the honey, oats and the corn. So 3 different recipes for different types of cereal, muesli, however you want to refer to it. We've got the soup factory, which is the standard premium expansion soup factory. Oil mill, I think the oil mill was standard. Better double check that. I don't want to make these sweeping statements and be wrong. Yep, it was. And then if we come across here, hop the fence. This one we do need to purchase because this has got an addition to it. This is the sugar mill, but this has had added that and that are standard. That's standard, but then this lump sugar. So when you've made your sugar, you can make lump sugar from it. Pretty cool. Then we move into that large facility. So let's go back to our map. So we started here at the main farm. We came all the way up here, did all the Weingarten stuff up there. We then came back down and followed this road all the way down into here. So we've done all of these. Did I do that one? Yep. Dairy, did all of that. We've done these here. That's right, now we're moving to this. So this 175 took in all of these triggers here. And then the next one next door, 174, took in these. So yeah, there's a fair bit. And luckily the gates did work here, but I think if I recall I had to buy it first. I can't remember. Which end was it? There you go. There's a little keypad on the wall there. So we'll go around the yard this way first. We have got a fuel point and we've got a workshop trigger just behind it, just there. Come across the yard. We've got a sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger, so you've got like a farmhouse built in for either this bit or that bit or both. It's up to you how you want to use it. The Farmer 500 silo, 5 million litre multi-fruit. We come around here. We've got bale and pallet storage over there. If I can remember how much it was. I thought I'd written it down, but maybe not. Well, you go 500 bale and pallet storage for 500. We've got our biogas plant, which is here. So silage, now this is interesting. So we've got silage, straw, slurry, manure, and sugar beet cup. So straw is added in, as well as your standard-ish things in there. And then next to that, on site, which is quite handy. I like this as an idea at a biogas plant. Don't know why more of them don't do it. We've got a beet cutter. So sugar beet in, sugar beet cut. High recipes, a lot of the factories that are added in like this, that's got very, very high cycles per month. The recipe's quite standard, but the cycles are high, which means it produces fairly quickly. So you can take your sugar beet and turn it into sugar beet cut for processing through the biogas plants. There's no sell point or anything up on the hill. If you wanted to add anything, that is part of the verges, so you'd have to, yeah, it's that expensive bit. No, I get it. It's a massive expanse of land, and it would be expensive in real life. You were going to buy all of that, but in real life, would you be buying all of that? I suppose that's the other question to ask. So let's open this gate. There we go. We come out into the next plot, which is the sheep farm. We've got 2 sheep pens and 1 sheep pasture. The 2 sheep pens are 65 sheep each, and this one here was it 40, no, hang on, what was it? 200. I was to say 45. No, 200 in there apparently. So from here, right, what was my route? When I was doing my prep, I went the wrong way. It's difficult sometimes. You look at the map. We'll come back to the map and I'll show you. So when you look at a map, so we come out from here, and you've got little bits like this that look like a track. That bit looked like a track, but that's the river. I thought, oh, that's brilliant. I'll come out of there, jump onto there and along. No, that's the river. I thought I'll come out along there and follow these tracks. But that took me the wrong way. Yeah, so it's working out where you got to go. Anyway, the forest area all around here, forest sections, again, not too expensive considering the forestry. There's no sell points or anything out there, or productions or anything. I bought all the plots off camera just to double check. So I think I need to go this way. Yeah. Let's boogaloo. I'm looking for a turning back on myself, which I think is coming up now. Now this takes us down to the railroad silo, transfer silo. There is a tiny little railroad that comes in the bottom and out the bottom. If you get a contract that says it wants you to sell to Felsbrunn, that's where the train goes to. So, start off with, we've got a sell point just over here. I need to refer to my notes because I've lost where I am. This is the pallet goods sale. So if you've got palleted goods, this is the sell point here. And you've got your transfer silo. So putting into the silo and taking out the silo can be done here. So you can use it just as a storage silo if you wanted to. And then round the other side, we've got our rent train point. Just here. And then, I mean, putting in and taking out the silo, but when I say putting in, the train literally comes in just around there and goes out just there in the tunnel. So we come back to the map, we are here. Now they are off the map, so you can actually get to them. But if you take the train and go into the tunnel, it does say off to Felsbrunn. And in the prices menu, I think, there you go, look, Felsbrunn is showing there as well. So there are prices. So there's your transfer silo, sending stuff off to Felsbrunn if the price is pretty good. I think the Felsbrunn train only has 3 carriages, and it's only for bulk goods. So it's not for pallets, it's not for bales, that kind of stuff. It is more for your grain type crops and those kind of things. Stuff that can be tipped and poured, not placed. Is that the best way of putting it? Yeah, probably. So from here, back across the bridge and turn to our right. That car's been abandoned. So just down here. We've got the equestrian centre for the rearing and training of horses. So just here, 16 horses in the pasture, and in the, well, I suppose this is still pasture with a barn. Another 14. So horses. We are at plots. Where were we? 173. We've done a fair chunk. We're getting there. Just double checking now to make sure there wasn't anything I missed. Okay. There might well be. It's a lovely little town we're going to go through in a moment. The town is part of the Verges. If you're new to watching my map tours, if you're new to watching my channel and you're wondering what I'm talking about, there's the main parts of the map you can purchase that are fields and barns and buildings and all that kind of stuff. Then there's the, often on maps you'll get sections that like whole sections you can buy. Sometimes they're free and it sort of encompasses the rest of the map, which allows for the placing of placeables or sell points or factories. And it kind of, I was originally referring to them as the periphery, which is normally around the outside. And then someone said, "What about verges of the map?" It's just it's just a term I use for the extra bits of a map that aren't fields and farms, but you can buy for placing. It's lovely, lovely little place, isn't it? Come through here, and out the other side. We come to the next plot, which is a chicken farm. Now these are modded chicken pens. I remember when these came out, doing the mod review on these. I'll show you in one. Each one holds 2,000, it said 10,000, 2,000 chickens. We've got this point here, which I really liked when this came out. So you can tip inside or outside. For ease, you can put your feeds and stuff in outside if you want to. these open up. Then we come to here, we can open the doors here. Let's see, 2,000 chickens each side, and we've also got a button there for the feeders, so if, you know, to simulate if you're going to clean out, you can lift the dispensers, or you might only feed them at certain times of day. I don't know, however, whatever reason you want to use that for. But anyway, that's what we've got here. 2 large chicken pens, chicken buildings, 2,000 in each from here. We're going to go back through the town. Actually, I'll show you on the map where we're going to go. So we're out here at plot 172. We're going to come back through here, back through the village, town, back up to the main road, and then all the way around here. And I'll see you back on this road up here, heading to all this. Now, this is an interesting bit as well. That's part of the Verges periphery. That bit you can't purchase. I will double check again because we have got a sawmill around there and carpentry. When I buy the sawmill, we'll see if we buy the land. I don't think we can. Whoa. So heading around, this is like a kind of almost like an industrial estate sort of type facility. The farm shop, kind of like the farmer's market, just here. Sell point. Just around there, we've got another water point. Around the corner here we have some purchase points. Animal dealer is just there. Then we've got these bulk goods points. This is for animal feed, this one here. Then we've got 2 sell points here, and these were livestock trade grain acceptance, which is this one here, and this is one is livestock trade bale acceptance. So that's grain acceptance, this is bale acceptance. So an animal dealer with 2 sell points. Which I suppose if you're running an animal dealer, you're going to need feed for the animals as well. But you can buy feed here as well. As you can see, Tomic's ration, pig food and mineral feed. Nicely signed, so it shouldn't be an issue. I think a lot of the bulk containers and stuff on here are the same. So, was it around this side? Wasn't where it normally is, if I recall. There you go. Around here. There we go. Now, bearing in mind we've got premium expansion. I've got platinum expansion on, but it's a standard sawmill. I'll go back to the map and let's see. Did that get us the land? No. I don't think we can buy this plot of land. And then a little bit further up, we have got the carpentry. Over in the corner. We've also got 2 sell points here, this plot. So your wood chips that will be coming out as byproducts. Over here, that's a sell point for wood chip. And that's a sell point for stones. So if you've got surplus of those, you can get rid of them. Just click on that. Yeah. Fairly standard carpenters. Just there, just only saw that over here. The various different ladders. So there are 100 collectibles. That's an interesting one. Why would you that, I just noticed that. I didn't notice it when I did my prep. A gazebo up on top of the shipping containers. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I've been looking into. There's a big sort of not a revolution. It's, you know, the whole tiny house thing. You know, myself and Mrs. Silly P spent the weekend with Nina and Brian at their farm. Nina is a subscriber to the channel. And you might have heard me speak about her, mention her many times. She's a lovely lady. We went to their farm at the weekend. We were talking about buying land and farms and farm prices and that kind of stuff. And we were saying about buying a plot of land in the Lake District and either trying to buy a farm. It's just too expensive, you know. And then we were saying about, you know, building a house. What would you do? There's a big thing where you can. There's companies that make shipping containers into homes. You can pick the size, you can pick what you have in them, you kind of work with them, and then what a lot of people do when they place them, they clad them, they make them look like a log cabin, or they're fantastic. I just saw that and reminded me of all that conversation. So here we have come along the track, the road up to here. So this is the potato processing plant. So again, this is, I think, was this an extra mod? I bought the land anyway because, you've guessed it, no trigger for the gate. So until this is fixed, and again, I own the land, but I don't think we can demolish the fencing. or the gate. So I tried both sides. I thought maybe there was a keypad somewhere, maybe the trigger was a little bit off to one side. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find one. So again, unless that's that situation that you've got to buy all the rest of the map to get access to that, yeah, it's frustrating. So, potato chips can be made here with the 3 different oils from our oil mill that we saw earlier on. So I was even looking and thinking, oh, well, you could maybe put, if you can't get the gate open, maybe a ramp. But the problem is, to place a ramp on the outside, you've got to own the land. Which then, if you've got to buy it anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Right, so let's head a bit further in. Another little turning coming up on the left in a moment. Just here. I think this might have been the same. Was this one the same? Please tell me there was a gate. No, there wasn't, was there? Oh. Did I even get in there? Yes, I did. Right. So this facility here, again, this was the next plot along that I said I'd purchased them just to make sure. Plot 193. So just here we've got the preserved food factory. Again, premium expansion type stuff. So you make your preserved foods there from your carrots, parsnip and red beet. Maybe a bulldozer? I'm just thinking, what could we smash the walls in with? I don't know. Anywho, whoa, next big... Every time, come on. So just along here, we've got a water point just there. I don't know why I'm laughing, it's not funny. A water point just here. And then this was one of the big plots, so 170. You get all of this on plot 170. I didn't realise it was that expensive. 2,038,500. It's because I'd put money in. I thought, well, yeah, I'll just buy up the plots that I need to get. That's a lot of money. Wowzers. And for that, not a lot of money, you don't even get a key to the gate. Because you've guessed it. But luckily on this one, this was one that you had an option. Luckily these are drive-through, which means we can circumvent the gate. So in doing so, come round into the yard, and here we have workshop trigger and fuel point just there. We have got sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. Wardrobe and sleep just here, and then we have got two raised beds here? There we go. One there. And one there. So 2 raised beds here. If we come, I think this was open, this one. Yes, it was. Then still on the same plot, we come all the way up the top here to the animal section. So this one is a cow barn, cow shed. This is for 500 cows. This has got a feed robot, but this is not a base game one. This was the cool one. You put the stuff into here, and the feed robot comes along on this rail, and it hangs. This feed robot here. I remember doing the mod review on this as well, and it all tips in, and it follows the rail around, unloads, and then goes back in again, which is very, very cool. So this one will do 500 cows. So okay. Then across the way here we've got 2 pens which look almost identical, but they hold different amounts, which was a curiosity. The first one will do 200 cows, the second one does 150. There you go. These ones you have to feed yourself, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Then we've got bale and pallet storage just here. Was this just bale storage? I think it must have been bale storage. Bale storage for 800 bales. Then the back here we've got a cow pasture. Definitely a cow farm for 200. So what's that? 500, 700, 900, 1050. Is that right? Yeah. 1,050 cows. Silage clamps up here as well. If you like your cow farming, nice. Right. Back down through the... This is more of a farm estate. I mean, look at this building. It's incredible, isn't it, really, when you look at it? And then round here, what do we have around this side? Oh, it's the silo. I say there was something around this side. The Farmer 500, 5 million litre silo, just there. Then we come back out. And we've got a sell point tucked away next turning. In here. This was... What was this called? This says to the open hall door. So the one that comes up as a sell point saying to the open hall door, that's that sell point just there. Now we head out and around up the top of the map. Over the top and round, I think we've got one more farm, but we've also got the... We haven't done the vehicle shop yet, have we? No. So you can see the orchards over there that we were at earlier, so we've done a big old spiral round. So there's invisible traffic lights or something. Right. Around here. And in now. Up here we've got purchase points. So these are storage, well not storage, these are purchase points for bulk products. So here, liquids, herbicide, liquid fertilizer. That one was that salt? That's salt, isn't it? Then across the way, fertilizer, seed and lime. Come up to the map. So from here, swept all the way around up there, and we are now here. So there you go. There's our salt, fertilizer buy station, lime, liquids and seed, all up here. So if you are in need of any of those things, we've got our vehicle shop and workshop. So, vehicle shop in here. There is a map up on the wall that shows the various different farms. That's a massive pinboard. And then we've got a workshop trigger just around here. This is the reset point for the map as well, up here. Then we've got a gas station point just here. And now we're heading around to the final farm. So we had chickens and beef at the first one. We had sheep by the biogas plant. We did chickens and horses. Yeah, we've done both of those. Cows up at the one that we were just at. So it must be pigs left. Next turning coming up. Just here. Nope, not there. Where is it? It's tucked in the trees, if I recall. There you go. This little turn in here. It's another lovely farm, this one. Open the gates. So, farmhouse here. There's a sleep and wardrobe trigger. Lovely little ornate gardens. Water point, the gate opens there. That's because we've got raised beds here as well. Oh no, this was garden, wasn't it? There you go. So that one is just garden. So that's for this bit here. Then you've got these bits already got flowers in. I think these were just storage buildings, if I recall. Yep. Come across the yard. We've got 2 pig barns, pig buildings, 170 in each. There. Workshop trigger is outside here, but the actual trigger is just inside there, in that barn and building space. Fuel point just across there. I do like this. Nice little extra feature. It's very cool. Yes, this is just barn and building space. Then across the way, large slurry tank, Farmer 500 silo, 5 million litre multi-fruit. I don't think we have Balaam pallet storage here, did we? Or have I just missed it? Just look at my notes. I don't think so. No. So this is your pig farm. And that... did I get round it all? Have we done it all? We started there, up there, then we kind of... down to there, up there, spiraled, round there, round there. Yeah, I think so. Again, I always say it, apologies if I have missed something. I try not to where possible. There's a lot going on. I really hope that gate thing gets fixed. I'm just thinking now what I'm going to do it, aren't I, off camera? I'm going to speed up time, get enough money, buy the land. Right. What I'm going to say at this point, if a thumbs up comes up on the screen now, it means that buying the verges allowed those gates to be open. If I do that, and it doesn't allow the gates to be open, there'll be a thumbs down. I hope I remember to do this. But whatever that ends up being, I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.